So I guess part two to this, if you will, if we can call it that, there will be another slide after this one, where we're talking about squatting, deadlifting, and swings. Obviously, we mentioned that the muscles, are a part of lifting, but we've also got this idea of fascia and how it helps us lift. It runs from head to toe, but we're talking about the thoracolumbar fascia. Now, the reason fascia is a more efficient and a sort of better way of lifting is because it's further away from the fulcrum. So if we look at this diagram here, now obviously this is the arm, we're talking about the lower back, but if we can use this as a metaphor or an analogy, what we've got here is we've got the fulcrum, which is the pivot point, we've got the load, which is over here, and then we've got the force being generated, which is the muscle, basically. So if we've got a muscle which is very close to a fulcrum, then the force needed from the muscle is going to be that much more. If we were to take the muscle and instead of joining it here, we were to join it, say here, it wouldn't need as much force to lift that load because the lever arm here is shorter because we're putting the muscle to attach here, and the lever arm is only this long rather than this long. So what we're looking for is we're looking for something that's further away from the fulcrum. So what we understand is that muscles are always closer to the fulcrum than, or especially in the instance of the thoracolumbar fascia. But what we have here is the thoracolumbar fascia is further away from the fulcrum. So what that does is that makes it a lot more efficient when it comes to lifting. So if you lift well, your fascia takes over and your muscles shut down to minimize stress. They may not shut down 100%, but they will certainly shut down. So your muscles may initiate with regards to contraction. They may then shut down and then the lift happens. Now, what has also been found is in Olympic lifting, it's meant to be 80% fascia and 20% muscle, which is why they're so easily able to switch from a very high force environment when they're lifting the bar from the floor, and then as the bar is lifted and they drop under the bar, they're able to relax that much more. If they were to use only muscle, then it would be so much harder for them to relax. So what they do is they put their body into positions where their fascia can take over. And that's what we're going to talk about in the next slide, is what is controlling how much our fascia works and what is controlling how much our muscle works. So what we'll do is we'll finish this one here and we'll move into the next slide.